Good morning, viewers. You're now watching Hornbill TV's Morning Pulse. Union Minister for Electronics and IT Ashwini Vaishnav on Tuesday underscored the strategic importance of electronics manufacturing amid global geopolitical uncertainties, stating that India is emerging as a reliable and trusted partner in global supply chains. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the Google Cloud India AI Hub, Vaishnav said that the current global environment has prompted countries and companies to seek dependable partners where intellectual property rights are safeguarded and security concerns are addressed.
The electronics manufacturing is very important from the geopolitical perspective. In today's world, which is full of geopolitical uncertainty, entire world is looking for a trusted partner where IP rights will be respected, where the security concerns will be met, where you can believe the supply chain is in trusted hands, auditable, properly checked, verifiable. That kind of supply chain, that kind of value chain is possible only in India. And that's why we request all the global users of electronics products to look at India as a major electronics sourcing, development, design and manufacturing hub. Whether it is components, modules, sub-modules or finished products or materials going forward, India will emerge as one of the major trusted supply chain partners for the entire world. And in fact, in the recent FTAs that we had, especially with Europe, electronics supply chain was one of the major drivers of the agreement between India and Europe. Because every part of the world is today looking for a trusted value chain supplier. And now we have added semiconductors to this journey. Out of the 10 plants which have been approved as a part of the semiconductor mission, 2 plants have already started commercial production again in a record time from the beginning in 24. In 2026, we have the commercial production already going on for 2 plants now. Another 2 plants will start commercial production within 2026. And in 2028, we'll have the first commercial fab in Dholera starting its production. Again, it's very important to understand, and especially for our international participants here, a $1 chip can stop the production of a $1 million machine. And that is very important to understand the concentration risk which is happening in the world today. That concentration risk can put the mightiest of the world at risk just by that $1 chip. So it's very important to make sure that the world has a trusted semiconductor manufacturing country where the IP rights and the value system of democracy, the value system of free speech, those are followed and which are very important for the entire world today. So my request to especially the international visitors here, if you have to take one message away from this meeting, please consider India as your trusted value chain and supply chain partner. And this is a government, as Lokesh Anna said, which believes in delivery, which believes in execution, which believes in transparency, and we have delivered what we promised. The Google team is a clear witness to this entire thing. Whatever we said, we have delivered. Our say-do ratio, what we say and what we do, our say-do ratio is very high, I would like to say.
Congress MP Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa on Tuesday raised serious concerns over the recent blast on the Rajpura-Shampur railway track in Punjab, calling it a major security lapse and demanding a high-level investigation. Randhawa stated that This was the second such attempt in the past 3 months, alleging that there has been little clarity or information regarding the earlier incident. He warned that the affected railway stretch is among the busiest routes and a successful blast could have resulted in significant loss of life. The Congress leader also criticized the state government, claiming that the administration led by Chief Minister Bhagwan Mann has not shown adequate seriousness in addressing security concerns.
कल देर रात पटियाला पुलिस कोले एक लो इंटेंसिटी एक्सप्लोजन दी इन्फॉर्मेशन शंभू हरियाणा बॉर्डर ते एक रेलवे ट्रैक दे उपर आई सी। इमीडिएटली मैं डीआईजी पटियाला रेंज ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਅਫਸਰ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਰਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ। ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੌਕੇ ਦਾ ਜਾਇਜ਼ਾ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ 'ਚ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਲੋ ਇੰਟੈਂਸਿਟੀ ਐਕਸਪਲੋਜਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਰੰਤੂ ਇੱਕ ਅਟੈਂਪਟਡ ਡੈਟੋਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀਗਾ। ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਅਟੈਂਪਟਡ ਡੈਟੋਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਖਸ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡੈਟੋਨੇਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ। ਉਹਦੀ ਡੈਡ ਬੋਡੀ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਾਨੀ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਲੀ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ। ਐਂਡ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸਾਇੰਟੀਫਿਕ ਐਵੀਡੈਂਸ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਇੰਕਲੂਡਿੰਗ ਆ ਸਿਮ ਕਾਰਡ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਰਾਮਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਕ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਨਸਪੀਰੇਸੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਨਰੈਵਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੀਆਰਪੀ, ਆਰਪੀਐਫ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਏਜੰਸੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਔਨ ਬੋਰਡ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਇਹਦੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਕਲੂਡ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
BJD MP Sasmit Patra on Tuesday called the urgent de-escalation in the ongoing tensions between the United States and Iran, warning that prolonged hostilities could further destabilize the West Asia region. Speaking on the issue, Patra stressed that the need for dialogue to resume at the earliest, noting that continued conflict risks turning the region into a prolonged hotspot. He said it would be the United States' interest to initiate a second round of negotiations without delay.
Oil tankers which were reportedly carrying the Iranian oil. So
I think both the sides have been trading a lot of acquisitions and things are not becoming very positive. On one hand, Iran is claiming that US is actually, seized 2 of its oil vessels that were carrying Iranian oil. On the other side, US is claiming that Iran is not complying and there's no engagement or there is a sense of disagreement relating to the weapons program, relating to the nuclear the program that is really running. I think it doesn't augur well for either side. The problem is that the second round of talks is yet to commence. This kind of situation, primarily relating to oil vessels being seized by America and Iran saying that it is a piracy, I think doesn't augur well for the situation in West Asia. And secondly, US also raising serious concerns relating to the nuclear issue, though they're not formally saying it, but that is part of the diffidence based on which we are not able to move forward on the second round of talks. I believe we have to find a middle ground somewhere, and the talks have to recommence. De-escalation has to happen. Unless that happens, you will find that the West Asia conflict will just become another hotbed of conflict that will go on for a longer period of time. So I believe both Iran and US are trying to find a way out. But unfortunately, because of the stand by both of them, it's a middle ground is becoming difficult. So I really hope that better sense prevails and both the countries come to the negotiating table soon for the second round of talks.
in between the conflicts of the business trade, United States has now warned the firms on sanctions over dealing with Iranian airlines.
Yeah, because US in a way are challenging those organizations, those corporates who are dealing with Iranian airlines, and threatening them with sanctions will further complicate the situation. While it may be a strategic move by the US to further delineate and try to pressurize the Iranians by, in a way, creating a situation where Iranian airlines suffers more, and that impacts adversely Iran. But in doing so, what happens is it will also create a situation where the moderates within the Iranian regime may find it very difficult to then convince those who are radicals to be able to come on board and try to find a solution. So unnecessarily creating a situation which might just lead to a larger conflagration needs to be avoided.
Sayed was in Pakistan to discuss the West Asia ruckus, so thereafter he headed to Russia. How do you think United States also invited to have a talk on the West Asia? But Mr. Arakshi chose to visit Islamabad and after Moscow, sir.
You see, there are two interesting developments that are happening in West Asia. A few days back, there was a warning shot by China relating to the Strait of Hormuz. And yesterday, despite an opportunity to engage with talks through Pakistan, Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister of Iran, moving to President Putin and having a conversation in Moscow. And reportedly, media also says that President Putin has probably assured all support. So therefore, you have two new entrants into this field. One is China and one is Russia. And if it becomes a larger, chessboard where you have US and Iran and Israel on one aspect that started it, and then you have China watching the Strait of Hormuz because of its energy security requirements and the deadlock, and Russia now having engaged with Foreign Minister Arakchi, might also, in a way, though not militarily, but at least as a soft diplomatic power, stand behind Iran, creates a new situation of stalemate in the West Asia. That's why I always have been saying that it's in the best interest of US to close the second round of negotiations as soon as possible. The diffidence and holding out on the nuclear weapons program and demanding a complete surrender of the program from Iran might lead to a situation where you have Russia and China also walking in.
Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Rawat on Tuesday defended the move to make Marathi mandatory for auto and taxi drivers in Maharashtra, arguing that similar linguistic expectations exist in other states across the country. Addressing the issue, Rawat said states such as West Bengal, Gujarat, Karnataka and Punjab prioritize their respective regional languages, and Maharashtra should be no exception.
मराठी भाषा को मतलब कंपलसरी के लिए कल भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस ली गई और अब कंफर्म नहीं किया गया. आज फिर से प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस ली जा रही है. संजय निरुपम एक तरफ बात करते हैं, एक तरफ
कौन क्या बात करता है मुझे मालूम नहीं है.
क्या इसमें वोट बैंक की राजनीति या
ये वोट बैंक की राजनीति पर काम चल रहा है और कुछ नहीं. पश्चिम बंगाल में बंगाली अनिवार्य होनी चाहिए, गुजरात में गुजराती कंपलसरी होनी चाहिए, कर्नाटक में कानड़ी कंपलसरी होनी चाहिए, पंजाब में पंजाबी होनी चाहिए, तमिलनाडु में तमिल को महत्व मिलना चाहिए. अगर ये है तो महाराष्ट्र में अगर मराठी भाषा के लिए हम वही हक मांगेंगे तो आप इतने नाच क्यों रहे हो, खुदक क्यों रहे हो? इस राज्य की भाषा मराठी है. कौन सी वोट बैंक है और किसकी वोट बैंक है? आप वोट बैंक के लिए मराठी का अपमान करोगे? ये नहीं चलेगा. मैं इस राज्य के जो ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर है मिस्टर सरनाई, अगर सचमुच ये मराठी भाषा उनके मन से अनिवार्य करना चाहते हैं रिक्शा चलाने वालों को, तो उसमें कोई गलत नहीं है. ये उनके ही फायदे की उनके फायदे की ये विचार है ये. क्योंकि आपके रिक्शा में कौन बैठते हैं? लोकल लोग बैठते हैं जो मराठी भाषिक है. तो आपका उनका डायलॉग नहीं हो पा रहा है तो झगड़े होते हैं, हाँ, पुलिस स्टेशन तक जाते हैं. तो आपको सीखना होगा मराठी. और आप यहाँ काम धंधा रोजगार करने आए हैं तो आपको लोकल भाषा सीखना होगा. अगर यहाँ के लोग यूपी बिहार में जाओगे तो हिंदी तो आनी चाहिए उनको. हम यहाँ भी हिंदी का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, दिल्ली में करते हैं. क्यों करते हैं? हमारी भाषा है, हिंदी भी हमारी भाषा है, तो करना चाहिए. अगर कोई इसकी राजनीति करना चाहते हैं वोट बैंक की तो उनको जूते से मारना चाहिए. यही प्रताप सरनाईक जी ने हाथ में जूता लेकर उनके पीछे भागना चाहिए ऐसे लोगों को जो विरोध कर रहे हैं.
सर, बीजेपी के एक मिनिस्टर हैं, कैबिनेट मंत्री हैं, उनको 1 महीने की सजा सुनाई गई है कोर्ट ने और मट्टी फेंकने के ऊपर कर्मचारी के नीतीश राणे.
कोर्ट का निर्णय है. अगर कोर्ट का निर्णय है तो कोर्ट का निर्णय मानना चाहिए. सजा हमने तो नहीं दी ना, अपोजिशन ने दी ना, या पंडित नेहरू ने नहीं दी है ना. सजा आपके ही कोर्ट ने दी है. और क्यों दी है? आपने कानून को हाथ में लिया. अगर कोई भी कानून को हाथ में लेता है तो कानून अपना काम करता है. चला.
CAPF personnel carried out a search operation in the Falta Assembly constituency under the supervision of Ajaypal Sharma, the election observer for the West Bengal polls. That's all for now. Thank you for watching Hornbill TV.